1 month. 1 month isn't really a long time when you think about it. I started HRT 1 month ago today. Today is the 13th of June. 1 month ago today is when I took my first testosterone shot. I've seen a few changes in the last several weeks. The first is, the very first thing that I encountered was, alright, right after I got my shot, because I gave it to myself within the nurse's office on my campus, within the campus clinic, the very first thing I felt was that I was a total badass because I gave myself my first shot. And, you know, the needle is 1.5 inches long, so it's not like a tiny little needle for vaccination. It's a fairly respectable sized, it's actually about that big, respectable sized needle. So I stuck about an inch of that, 1.25 inches or so, a little bit less than 1.25 inches, into my leg. And it's a good feeling having that behind you. And since then, I've done all my own shots. So I felt like a badass. And a little bit after that, maybe a couple of days, I started getting breaking out a little bit. I'm still having some issues with pimples, but not anything egregious just yet. I'm hoping that it stays away from all over the place, because I've heard some not so great stories about your face really hurting when you have acne, and I've never had acne ever, so I'd like to try to stay away from it. I was also really hungry the second week or so, like I was literally gonna die if I didn't get something to eat. My stomach would be that hungry. And it was either that hungry or painfully full. So I had to try to see, relearn how to feed myself, basically. What else? I noticed some growth, just a little bit of growth in the skin around my... Alright, so just not safe for work warning here. I am going to talk about every change I've noticed. So if you don't necessarily want to know what's going on with all my bits, you might want to stop watching. Or skip forward about a minute. Fair warning right now. Okay, skip forward. Okay, so all the rest of you guys that are still watching, if you're still watching, I have also noticed some growth in the skin around my clitoris. Yeah, you don't necessarily want to know what's going on in my pants, but you're watching this video, so either you're FTM or MTF or just curious. So anyway, so I've noticed some growth and thickening in the skin. Just very minor. I don't know if it's going to grow anymore. It may not. Alright, I'm going to stop talking about that now. Alright. So it's been probably about a minute, maybe a little bit less, since I first mentioned skip ahead. What other things? I've noticed that I'm a little bit more mellow and happy. I'm not at all aggressive. I'm not at all angry. I get annoyed, but it's a different kind of annoyance. It's not the same kind of annoyance where it's like irritation or frustration. It's more just, oh, I'm kind of annoyed. That kind of got under my skin. And then I go work out, or I, think about other things for a while and it goes away. Whereas, say when I'm on my cycle or something, if something bothers me, it's going to bother me the entire day, and it's really obnoxious. Yeah, estrogen just kind of makes me a bitch. Within my own mind, I don't outwardly show that, but I have an entirely different thought process during that time of the month. let's see, I squeaked about 3 weeks in, maybe. I was helping a friend move, and we were sitting in the car on the way to Albertsons afterward. Albertsons is a grocery store down here. And I said steak, but when I said steak, I said it in an excited kind of way, and my voice squeaked. And I didn't know if it was a voice squeak because I just sort of lost control of my voice and it squeaked, or if it was a voice squeak because my voice was starting to change. And it seems like it was a voice squeak because my voice was starting to change, starting to drop a little bit. I've looked at some previous videos and I do notice that my voice is just a tiny bit lower, but it's not really a huge difference to me. It might be to somebody else. I said hi to one of my friends, and when I said hi, he was like, whoa. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it'll be more noticeable to me as time goes on. What else? I've started working out at the gym because I'm trying to really knock off the last 60 to 70 pounds I have to lose. And I think I'm actually going to adjust that and say body fat percentage, because losing weight is all well and good, but it looks like I'm also gaining muscle at the same time, and I may lose 5 pounds of fat, but then I might tack on like 6 pounds of muscle, which is exactly what happened last week. I worked out every day for a week, alternating like 3 days gym, which was cardio and weights, and 3 days swimming, and then I also swam on my birthday, Sunday. So that was every day for a week, working out, and really just busting ass when I was at the gym, when I was swimming, doing laps, not just like swimming around, palling around, playing Marco Polo or something. And I lost 2% body fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle. So that's pretty big, I think. Gaining 6 pounds of muscle in a week, that seems like a lot to me, and I could be wrong, but that seems like a lot. And this is just at the gym for an hour and swimming for 30 minutes, alternating every day. I don't know, does that seem like a lot to anybody else? I could be wrong, but I was surprised. And I actually put on a pound because I gained 6 pounds and lost 5. 6 pounds muscle, 5 pounds fat. And I obviously, it's only 5 pounds, so you're not really going to be able to see that on your body unless you're a tiny person. I'm not a tiny person. I'm 5'8". I weigh well over what I should. So, 5 pounds of fat does not really make a big difference to how I look. Maybe, in a few weeks, if I continually lose 2% body fat every week, maybe I'll start really seeing a difference. Well, I would say eventually, yes, I would start seeing a difference. Before the tea, however, I could work out fairly frequently and not really see any difference. I was on a plateau. I was plateaued for a long while, and it was really starting to sort of get me down. So having that suddenly kick in was a really good feeling. What other changes? Has there been anything else? Oh, the sides of my face are starting to get fuzzy, like right along the sideburns, and underneath the jaw. I've got just a couple of whiskers. I think 3 on one side and 2 on the other. It's tiny. It's like, and I shave anyway, so it's not like I can really tell. Eventually, I will be able to though, but being able to feel things already coming in, being able to feel that I'm fuzzier than I used to be is interesting. Also, my legs are getting a little bit fuzzier, just like blonde hairs. Hairline I don't think is changing any. No, I don't think so. I've always had a pretty tiny forehead. Nobody in my family is bald so far as I know, aside from my uncle, but he's got a skin condition. It's on my mother's side. But everybody else has literally a full head of hair. So I guess we'll see. I mean, anything could happen. I could lose my hair. But if that's what it comes to, I'm not too terribly worried about it. Yeah. So 1 month. My next shot is not this coming Monday, but next Monday. I think that's the 24th. And I will be doing another video at that time to give a run through, a demonstration of how to give a T-shot with my dosage. Someone else may have a different dosage, the numbers would be way off, so please don't try to replicate this. And I again reiterate, I do not condone taking hormones or any medication without the approval and supervision of a doctor. If you're thinking about starting testosterone or estrogen, please consult a doctor beforehand. Get your blood work done. Get a script. Do all that good stuff, because you could really mess things up if you don't. So, this is Arden for 1 month into testosterone. Please stay tuned.